understand when the ground gives out. Getting used to quiet when the noise dies down. I can see the damage when I look around, but I'm still here breathing, so I'm here for now. If I could step outside my head and tell myself what I know now. Find something you believe in. Find someone who will leave when everything you build starts breaking down. Find a place you can return to. Find a truth you can hold on to when the lights go out and you're lost somehow. It's love, 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 love. When everything's falling out, it's love, 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 that pulls you back somehow.
Are we all set?
I gave all my time to the wrong mistakes. Tried to run fear, but it always stayed. Every open road still feels the same, but I'm learning now it's okay to change. If I could rewind the nights, I'd tell myself I'll be alright. Find something you believe in. Find someone who will leave when everything you build starts breaking down. Find a place you can return to. Find a truth you can hold on to when the lights go out and you're lost somehow. It's love, 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 love. When everything's falling out, it's love,
Hello, sorry about that. Difficulties on my end. My name is Grand Duke Otto
Yeah, that's fine. Like the intro's
first,
literally just playing
and
right now.
I am from the Grand Duchy of Misberia and the lands of the Ugaritic Crown.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I think we might have had a couple of mishaps there. Uh, so, yeah, welcome to uh, River Valley Radio. For those that don't know me, I'm Grant. I'm Prime Minister of New Strathclyde. I'm also the host of River Valley Radio. Um, there might be a bit of confusion with what just happened, but it's a couple of technical issues. So the song that just played was Cronus by Damaged. But it's an NCS release that you can find in the description below if you want to listen to it again, up to yourself. And with me today, I do have the Grand Duke of Misberia. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks very much for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I could be here.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely great. Absolutely great. Well, I believe that you may have appeared on my previous show, Fucking Valley Radio. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't sound right. Fucking Radio Service many years ago. Um, Again, it's just still running Misberia, but under a different name. So let's talk
Yeah,
about
that's correct.
yeah. Let's talk a
I
little
had been
bit.
on there twice before.
Yeah, was it twice? My memory is
Yes.
absolutely. My memory is genuinely shocking. I don't remember how many times it was. I remember doing it for every week for like a year, and it's just like after a while, I couldn't be bothered with it. But uh, yes. So let's get right into things.
Alrighty.
Uh, For those listening at home, you're probably realizing how disorganized I am. I've had a couple of very, very unhappy days, so you'll have to bear with me because I'm the problem right now. So yes, so
No worries. It's very on brand for things to be scuffed when Misberia is involved, anyways.
yeah,
So
yeah,
right on brand.
my
We're
my
all set.
apologies, my apologies. So yes, if we could talk a little bit about Misperia and who you are.
Yeah. So as Grant was saying, my name is Otto Greenu Blair. I am the Grand Duke of Misberia, and I have been in the community for about 11 years at this point.
It's a long time. It is a very, very long time, 11 years. If I think about it myself, it was like 2018 or 2019 I joined or something like that. I can't quite remember. In fact, how old am I now? 28. I want to say
Hmm.
I want to say I was maybe like 20 or 21 possibly. So
I joined much younger. I was, what was that? I was about 13, 14 when I joined, and I've been doing this mostly on, a little bit off since 2015.
wow, well, that's a long, long time.
Yes,
Long
yes, it
time.
is.
So, you know, between the last time that you appeared on Virgin Radio Service and now, what is it you've been, what is it you've been doing? Where have you taken Misberia?
So in the last, what has it? It's been about about 6 years since I was last on. Since then, Misberia has been doing more of the same, more of the same. Really just quiet, doing its own thing with its own little community, slowly developing. Uh, since Miss Barry was last on, I've met my now wife and got married, and so her interest in micronationalism has really taken a hold in what we do. A lot of our stuff we do now is more geared towards the arts and storytelling than a community based micronation as we used to be.
Yeah. I do remember those old days of the community. You'd things like Catan going on, and it's that absolute psychopath. What was his name? James Class and White, I think. If memory serves, anyone that's listening could probably correct me. But
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
James Class and White, that was it. He was an absolute psychopath. Oh my God. Um, but yeah, I mean, like getting married, that's huge as well, and of course, like your now wife is like super into it too. I mean, that's another achievement as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just framed it as she joins and she can have a special title if she wanted, and she liked the idea of being known as the ruler of all autos. So that's her official title alongside Grand Duchess is she loves doing that, and with her love of mythology, we do monthly things with that, and then with my job and my degrees in education and mental health, we have really taken Miss Barrier from community based to just more focused on mental health advocacy,
Mhm.
education, and storytelling.
Yeah, I don't think there's another micronation that quite does that. I mean, it's an interesting avenue and aspect to go down because of course, like the newbie comes in and think, oh, like I want to be like community orientated and just come in and like totally be totally known by absolutely everyone. You know what I mean? Um, I think that's the way that I initially joined was I want to be known by absolutely everyone and like yeah I'm gonna be like so famous one day and it's what like 8 years later no one knows who I am so no one knows who I am so that's kind of what that is at that point but it's impressive that you're going down those aspects education and advocacy for mental health and shifting away from the community as well as I feel like as people get older and maybe a bit more mature, they've come to realise that the community is not a place for mature people. It doesn't mean that you can't still talk to individuals, but um,
I mean, for me, it's been more of the just the natural progression of who I've become,
Mm,
especially with
mm,
my wife. I mean, back years ago, Misberia was more community based. We were
mm,
more, I mean, we had events in person all the time and everything else. And just as I got married, as I moved across the state and out of the state for a little bit, and now back here in Maine, it's a lot has changed. And instead of focusing on developing a larger community, I've been more focused on just developing what I already have. And that has been very successful.
yeah,
Uh, and in general, just focused more on the internal aspects of things than the external name recognition and trying to get famous. I mean, if I'm known and if Miss Berry is known, that's fantastic. At the end of the day, as long as I'm happy
yeah,
that I've created, it's
yeah.
kind of where I end off.
No, I mean that's fair enough. You know, you'd always want to be happy with your creation, but you know, talking about the community and maybe Misberia is sort of not so much neglect or disdain for it, but non-participation. What kind of relationship do you have with the community, if any at all?
I have a pretty significant interaction with the community. I'm currently the vice chair of the Grand Unified Micronational,
Mm,
which has been around for about 16 years or 17 years at this point.
yeah.
Um, Alongside that, Miss Berry was just granted rights to host the Micronational Olympic Federation's Rock, Paper, Scissors tournament, which we're looking forward to doing. And otherwise, I have more focused my approaches in the community to just advocating for just spreadsheet sports, just interacting with others, and just having fun with it all. My primary mission the last couple months has been to reconcile various i- arguments and disagreements within the community, including New Virginia and Australasia, which completed finishing talks with them back in November. That
Fair,
took about 6 months,
fair enough.
but my as much as I don't focus on the community, I'm still very involved.
Yeah, I definitely do not focus on the community an awful lot. I maybe you know focus and interact with the people that interact with myself, but you know apart from that in general, uh, the Austin Asian, was it New Virginia?
Yeah, New Virginia.
New Virginia. I don't think I've actually heard of New Virginia before. Maybe they're older than New Strathclyde or whatever else. But I mean, if you've had a hand in the negotiation of peace talks, we'll call them, then you know that's obviously very good. Makes you look good, makes Xperia look good, and you know, yeah, I can.
I mean, I didn't even approach it from that aspect. It was just, I'll be blunt. I mean, I'm friends with people on in Australasia and in New Virginia. I was a citizen of both at one point,
Yeah, yeah,
and to return to the community back last year in February,
mm,
both of them were going, "Which side are you taking?" And I got fed up with it.
yeah,
And as someone who was friends with both sides, I went, "Let's talk. Let's
mm,
just figure things out." And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that people are now talking to each other. There's not this animosity between each other,
mm,
and that I'm not being asked to take sides anymore. It's much more relaxing.
yeah, yeah. It's always good when conflict is resolved. But you know, moving on from that, you spoke about obviously your participation in the Grand Unified Micronational, and you know, like obviously you're vice chair of that. But is there any projects that maybe tie into that within this period? Is there any upcoming projects that maybe you're excited to talk about and share with us?
Let's see. Right now, I mean, with the spread, with the sporting aspect of things,
Mm-hmm.
we have a very active sporting participation
Mm,
in our community. We follow the Olympics, and right now we're following the Paralympics, and we're helping the Grand Unified Micronational set up the 2026 Gum Games, which is a like an Olympic type of thing with esports and a micronational video game created by North Udankton
mm,
uh, Total Readout. So it's been pretty interesting to just help with that, but a lot of our focus is stuff that the Gum doesn't really focus on. I mean, obviously, with the storytelling and the mental health
Mhm.
advocacy and education, it's kind of hard to rope that in with 30 nations.
Yeah, I can. I mean, yeah, 30 nations trying to get that. So that's. Hmm. I, I had heard stories of the Grand Unified Micronational. You know, when I was back around in the community. You know, when I was a bit more known and popular, I suppose. I did have an idea who they were and who they were run by. Such micronations as like Adamia. I'm not even sure if that guy's still around. I don't ever
Oh,
think
he's
I
around.
yeah.
Adam is a great man. I
Yeah.
love working with him,
Uh,
and he's been a great inspiration.
Yeah, I don't ever think I've actually spoken to him. I've spoken to a couple of people that were in GUM. I don't think my relationship, or at least talking relationship with those individuals, was like huge or big or anything.
Yeah, I think the only person you had a real connection with besides myself would be Cedar of Sondren.
Yeah,
She was a member for a good while.
yeah, I did know Cedar. I'm not. She disappeared one day. I'm not really sure what happened to her. I mean, the last time you brought her up is like she's doing well. She had sort of personal issues going on. So um,
Yeah,
which I mean, I'm not sure if she plans on returning to micronationalism, but I mean, maybe you do know the answer to that, or maybe you don't. But
she hasn't. When I spoke to her a couple months ago, she expressed that she hadn't actually left
mm,
the community. It just,
all right,
I mean, with her focus with her personal life and work, her time to be incredibly involved or involved to the point where people notice
yeah,
just isn't there right now.
hmm,
I mean, Sondrin was always a micronation based around the family unit
yeah.
and just her little community, like her neighborhood area. So it's, I mean, I'm sure they're developing in some way, just not publicly.
Just silently, yeah. I mean, that's sometimes I do genuinely miss talking to her and having her around because you know she was very wise. At least my memory of her was one of you know one of good memory. That's at least.
Oh,
But
absolutely. She was a very calm and collected individual, and in this community, especially a few years ago, I mean, we needed that more than anything else.
no, we definitely did. We definitely did. I mean, all that time ago, it's like kind of good that we had adults around, you know, such as like Mithras, as I can't quite remember his name. Was his name James as well? Um, James
It
Mithras, I
may have
think.
been James, yeah.
Yeah, it's Mithras. Who's now like all but disappeared. I don't think there's anything come out of his account for quite a while. You know, and of course Cedar as well as like I kind of looked up to both of those individuals as a whole. So, but that was my experience.
Hmm.
However, moving on. So you are hosting the is it the rock paper scissors championship
Tournament, yes.
tournament? Is there any other event that Misberia is attending or plans to host?
So this year we are doing a couple different things.
Hmm.
Next month we are meeting with the new Gravit of Saint-Constant and the Principality of Saint-Cotosia in northern Vermont for a summit
Oh,
to discuss Laurentian micronationalism within Quebec and northern New England, and that'll be quite exciting.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we're also doing, uh, hopefully, hosting one of the Gum Game events, which we're hoping to host Tetris again, as we
Tetris.
did last year, and we are doing a what is it? We're doing a charity event of
Hmm.
our own in August.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact charity, but we're doing a charity event to raise money for, I believe, children with disabilities or adults with disabilities.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff that you've got going on there. Um,
Thank
you
you.
know, very good stuff as well. You know, if you're contributing back to the local community as well through the the charity for the disabled people. 'Cause, you know they do need they do need help. Quite a lot of them financially because world governments are unfortunately not kind to disabled individuals. So
I see that on the day-to-day basis. I work in the mental health field,
mm,
and so every day, I mean, yes, I work for the state and I do as much as I can. However, there's only so much I can offer to do to support. So the more support we have on researching and finding different approaches that work for people more genuinely is always been a large focus of my job and just in general with
yeah.
raising money for charity.
And have you done any other like charity work recently or was
I hosted personally, I hosted the Austin Asian charity event for the Paralympic Foundation, or
mm,
the not the Paralympic, but the Olympic Refugee Foundation
okay.
during the Olympics. We raised a little bit of money, but overall, I haven't done too much charity work in the last 5 years. But before then, I hosted my both my university and my high school's charity events for local hospitals. So
Very
I have quite a bit of experience with
ve- you know ve-
hosting and running charity events.
mm, very good and very noble causes to host charitable events for especially with the refugee status of probably a lot of athletes all over the world as well. In more recent times, if anyone listening has kept up with global events, the whole war in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia, which is still going to this day, and Israel and Palestine as well. And well, more recently, again, if you've got an idea of current world goings on, the United States is currently bombing Iran, so probably possibly see a bit more refugees and especially like very talented athletes probably find refuge in their countries as well.
Yeah, it's breaks my heart to just see all of these conflicts, and I hope one day we can all find peace in the world. However, that's a lofty goal that I'm not entirely sure any
It's
current administration can really aim for.
yeah, it is a difficult topic as I can world peace be achieved, and I think yes. I don't think that we all have to sit around a fire and sing kumbaya together, more along the lines of like, okay, you stay on this side and I'll stay on this side and we just won't bother each other. um people
Yeah, just a
yeah,
mutual
yeah, yeah,
respect,
yeah,
but
people need to chill out, so that's it, that's it.
absolutely.
So, I mean, you've kind of been on and off as well. It's just to move on to the next subject matter. So, you brought up earlier that you've kind of been on and off. And so what change, what's changed between how do you think the community has changed between 6 years ago and now?
Let's see. I mean, it's very segmented. It's very like disproportionate
Mm,
in representation. I feel like, I mean, obviously 6 years ago we had COVID. I
mm,
mean, everyone was home. And so now to just no longer have that aspect. But then we also have the growing issues of companies overreaching with privacy concerns and ID verifications and everything else. I
yeah,
mean, you've got a sizable community on Twitter still, but then you've got a community on Mastodon and Instagram and Threads and Discord and Reddit and YouTube, and there's just so many options now just within the English speaking community
yeah,
that it's really hard to understand and talk to many people. I mean, I've tried, and a lot of it comes down to a barrier to interest on using a certain platform. I mean, up I use Instagram for Misberia primarily
mhm.
besides Discord, and I still struggle. to
Yeah.
understand and follow along everything. And
Hmm.
I think just in general, technology has also progressed with the introduction of AI.
Mm.
I mean, you're seeing a lot of micronations going, we don't want to use AI. AI is good. But then you're seeing a lot of the micronations owned or used by older individuals leaning more on AI, and it's kind of creating its own little division of sort in the community.
So I mean, the answer I kind of got from that was pretty much the same as it was before, divided. Um, I do,
Yes,
you know,
I'd say it's more divided now. Unfortunately, I mean, obviously, people are more willing to come to the table and talk. People are more willing to just figure things out. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's still pretty divided, and that's
yeah,
I expect that with such a large community of self-appointed leaders. But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad. I miss being able to go into like one platform and go, "Hey, how's it going?" And there's like 200-300 people that are more than willing to meet me at my maturity level and talk with me. I do
Yeah.
miss that.
That's yeah, that's another thing as well. Is like I've totally fallen out of touch with with the community in general. I mean, like I don't have very many accounts well, you know, active accounts that still follow me, or follow New Strathclyde, or at least you know, River Valley Radio on Twitter. And so I do have to start branching out at some point if I do want to get connection with other individuals. You know, possibly around my age group, and that also cannot be bothered with life, but still go out the way to do micronationalism. Um, you know, there, it is a bit of an issue when you've got so many fragment fragmented subsections of the community, you know, lying around in all these different platforms. It's like, well, how are you supposed to know about anyone else? It's like, you know, we sit and we talk, and like we wonder how many micronations are there actually out there, and I don't think anyone actually knows or truly understands, because some individuals in the world might think, oh, I'm the first person to ever do this, and then if they ever get on the internet, they find out, oh no, actually other people have been doing it a lot longer than me. So you know,
It's
it is kind of like coming to that realization of like, oh, it's like someone inventing the wheel, you know, in China. Meanwhile, people in Europe have been using it for like 100, you know, maybe 100 or 1,000 years prior to China. And China thinking that, you know, it was the inventor of the wheel. Then as soon as China discovers this other European civilization that also has the wheel, they're like, you know, maybe this wasn't our idea. You know, I would like to have more interaction, at least with the community that currently I am around. However, whether or not that happens, different story. But you know, moving on from that, what changes largely would you like to see within the community at the moment?
oh, at the moment, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're seeing a lot of different micronations just out there. I mean, even the usage of different wikis. Like I know there's Dove Archives, and I know there's MicroWiki. Me and Luis of Atlia run our own
Mm,
wiki that I took over from someone else couple last year, and so it's I don't know. I like the different options that are now more available for like if let's say you don't want to just be on MicroWiki, you have
mm,
other wikis. If you're having issues with one wiki's administration, you can go to another one. Like
yeah.
it's no longer feels like you're stuck in a monopolistic society or group. However, it's I do kind of miss the more of the interaction. I mean, I miss interacting with other language communities. Like I know the Taiwanese community is huge, and so is the Spanish speaking and the Portuguese speaking,
Yeah.
and the francophone, of course.
Hmm.
But it's I just want to see more interaction between different nations and just see more of what people can do when they come together and work together. I mean, it's I think our micronational hobby is kind of is at the forefront of a lot of what we're seeing in society of that toxic like not self-preservation, but like self-focus
Mm,
in our like in just in general. Everyone's so focused on themselves. Everyone is so focused on what they can do, what how they can get their name out there. And I think while it's good to have that self-value of wanting to put yourself forward, it's we need to be more like the leaders we claim to be and just interact more with each other,
yeah.
work more together.
I think, not interacting with each other and not working with each other is, largely in part down to immaturity. Like again, it's okay. It's okay to be like, this is your side of the fence and this is my side of the fence. But if you need, but it's also okay at that point to say, like, if you need help, I'll give you help. So, and I mean, uh, I mean, your point was incredibly insightful, and you're absolutely correct. Is that if people were only willing to actually talk and interact, and then maybe work together on projects, then maybe we could achieve a lot more. Unfortunately, because people are kind of like, this is my side of the fence, this is your side of the fence. I'm just not going to talk to you. That's unfortunately the reality of what that is.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but I mean, I feel like if we just keep being who we are, as leaders, we want to be the leaders of our communities.
Mm.
I think if we just put out that hand, I think we can really achieve a lot of great things.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so, moving on to the next question. Just for anyone listening at home, I'm gonna proposition questions, like live audience questions. So if you've got a question that you would like to ask Otto or myself, put it in the chat box now. Just while we get through the last couple of questions. Um, so what about current goings on in the community? Be it projects working together, be it like some sort of drama. Is there anything that you've maybe noticed or had a hand in, or anything else that's really going on, anything significant?
Let me think. I mean, they've got MicroCon this year. No, not this year, next year. Uh, in Europe and in San Diego.
Mm,
Uh, there's been, I mean, obviously, there's always drama hosting and getting people together in person. I mean, I'm not completely abreast to all of the drama of all of that, but
mm.
as much as I enjoy the community, I don't know if I want to entirely travel cross country or across the ocean to go visit other people in the hobby just
Yeah.
yet.
No,
Uh,
I'm kind of that same perspective and view myself as like, I mean, who do I really know and talk to in the community right now? Like, Ethan of the Sonland, Connor of Libertalia. I've got dialogue with yourself and with Lewis, with of Atlia. I talked to Zard of Obscurium, and that's really about as far as my fingertips touch. So,
oh,
you
absolutely.
know,
I mean, I'm starting small. I invited Thomas and Laura Bainbridge of the North Sea Empire to my wedding, and
mm,
same with Luis of Atlia to my wedding. Unfortunately, just things didn't work out that way, but I hope to meet them soon.
yeah.
And I have my first summit coming up. But in general, I mean, I would like to meet more people in person. It's just I'm in the middle of nowhere. I mean, who comes to northern New England ever? So it's
I mean, New England's not that bad. I mean, what you've got.
no, it's not. But I'm like 8 hours away from the nearest international airport. So
8 hours?
it's
It's
yes.
Well, I would assume that the next international airport then would probably be JFK in New York.
No, the nearest one would be in Portland.
Port Portland? Oh, right,
Portland, Maine, yeah.
Portland, Maine. Or I thought you were about to say Portland, Oregon. How can you drive eight
No,
8 hours in Maine and still be in Maine? That should not be possible.
I mean, Maine is much larger than people realize. Uh, one of my
Jeez.
great loves of this state is just you can travel for hours and see different things each time. Like it's ridiculous. I mean, we've got a national park and got some pretty tall mountains over here and
Mhm.
large fields and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful state.
Yeah. I had hoped to at one point visit New York myself. However, I realised that A, it's very noisy, and B, it's very expensive. So I do not think I should be visiting New York anytime soon, or possibly in the future at all. Um, and
I mean, when I visit
oh,
like cities, like I went when I last time I went to Montreal and Quebec City, and Lévis, and Quebec, I kind of stayed away from the touristy areas. I really just wanted to get to know what I'm visiting. Like, it was a lot cheaper to just get a hotel on the or like a motel on like the side of like on the side of Quebec City where
mm,
there's like no one there. Or like, I'd never been to an IKEA before. So like going to an IKEA, like just finding the fun and the joy and just the smaller things made my trips a lot less expensive. And it's been a lot more enjoyable, I guess, because I mean, get to practice my French. I get to practice just different skills that you wouldn't get if you're just in a cushy little area
fair enough. I do
for
like IKEA.
tourists.
I do like IKEA. IKEA is a very good shop.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
do,
I
I
think
do.
I spent like 500 Canadian on just plushies at yeah, because it just was so cool. I mean, why would I pay shipping for all that? I can just buy it myself there in person.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I like? Hot dogs. I like IKEA's hot dogs. I do like IKEA's hot dogs quite a lot.
The hot dogs are pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I can't quite remember what else they sell, but my dad used to take me and my brother there as a boy just to look at furniture, and then at the end we would always get a hot dog and like a just like a cup of juice, like cola or something like that. Yeah, those were good times. Those were pretty good times.
Oh, absolutely. It's, thinking back on our childhoods and just going, wow, that was nice. That was before we knew how messed up things really are. It was wish I could go back to those days.
If I could only turn back time. Oh, moving on. So, I mean, the gum has come up a couple of times during this. Hold on. Oh, uh, yeah, the gum's come up a couple of times in this, in this conversation. What other organisations um, are you part of, if any, and what's like the next in the pipeline for these organisations, or are you planning to create any of your own organisations, or what's kind of in the pipeline for Misberia as a whole right now?
So Miss Berry's in quite a few different organizations. I mean, we just joined the Laurentian Micronational Cooperative Union, which I talked a little bit about. The summit we have in April. We have various different things going on there. I'm currently working with them to adopt the LMCU Paster, which is the currency they have over there. And let's be honest, micronational currencies, while great, uh, there's far too many people that create a currency and don't really understand how it works. And the LMCU has someone who understands how currencies and economics work. And so
Mm,
I was more than happy to join that. Uh, Otherwise, Misberia is in the Chess Antique community, which is an organization of various different nations that have been around Misberia the last, I want to say like 8, 9 years at this point. You've
yeah,
got like
yeah,
Aspen, Atlia, Obscurium, the NSC, Atovia, Antonia, all of those great nations, Columbustan. We're, we do spreadsheet sporting events together all there,
yeah,
and then we're doing a winter games, both kind of in person and online, which my wife will be hosting. So we're
yeah,
looking forward to that.
yeah.
Otherwise, what is it? We have some minor organizations that I actually run and set up.
Mm,
I currently run the Pan Misperian Alliance, which is just me and Ketayirar, which is another Chouse nation, which Laura Bainbridge runs as her own micronation, and because she split off from Misberia to create her own,
fair enough.
uh, we work together on that. I help with the weather reporting and just in general help support her develop her own micronation. And then there's the UM. There's the what is it? The there's like an international cycling organization that
Mm,
Misberia took part in for their world tournament a couple of years ago, and since the president disappeared, I have an interest in cycling. I've always cycled, and so I am running that now, and I am working on developing a international collective of people who are interested in mental health and disability awareness micronationally, and just working together on that. The international collective of what is it? I can't remember the full name of it right now, but a disability collective for awareness. And then there's also the Micronational Postal Union, which is just sharing stamps from various micronations, which
mhm.
Varia has been producing stamps. And then there's UMEC, which is an Instagram based micronation that I use mostly for networking.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's all. But you got a lot going on, Otto. You've got a lot going on. I'll say that. I do not think that I could keep up with all that. I definitely couldn't. I can barely keep up with my own life. Never mind everything that you've got going on.
I'm very organized with my scheduling. Uh, Everything has to be in a spreadsheet. Literally,
Absolutely. Yeah.
time, everything is in a spreadsheet or in a Google Calendar. I mean, if something doesn't get done within 2 months, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What do I need to do? But overall, I mean, it doesn't feel like much work because I still use this community as a form of escapism.
Mm,
There's kind of, I mean, I work day in, day out with people with disabilities and mental health, and it's good to just come home and feel like I'm in control of something. I don't feel like I'm spiraling or constantly having to think on my feet,
mm,
and that's what I use this community for. And I think the amount of involvement I'm in kind of shows that I still kind of lean on this community to keep me sane,
yeah.
however paradoxical that sounds.
Yeah, the community is should probably be sending you to a mental institution. Never mind that, attempting to keep yourself sane. So
I don't need to make myself a customer of my own services.
yeah, that's a very, very good point. That's a very, very good point. And just the final question there. What about future prospects? What kind of do you have planned in the future for Miss Burial?
Uh, Kind of leaning more into the obviously the storytelling with my wife. She does a lot of mythology stuff. She loves mythology. Our home is decorated galore with Japanese scrolls, Egyptian papyrus, different antiques
Mm,
from all over the world. And so we're still doing our monthly like celebrations of a different mythology. Like this month is Irish, just because we're both I have Irish ancestry, and it's St. Patrick's Day is coming up this month. So cooking a couple traditional meals from our family, and then otherwise, just the education aspect of it all. We're still developing our own education system of just challenge based degrees. Like, if you can name 1,000 cities in the world without repeating yourself, like, that's a degree, kind of having fun with it. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
the mental health and disability side of things, we're slowly working towards building confidence to actually reaching out to local organizations and partnering with them to raise awareness and support local trainings on like possibly Narcan training
Mm.
or uh, various different like first aids or informed trauma responses.
Oh, fair enough. So that sounds absolutely great. You got a lot going for yourself, Otto, and you've got a lot going for Miss Beard, and I wish I was half as productive as you are. I really do. I
No,
wish I was half as productive as you are because I would get so much done. But I'm that kind of person that there's some dirty dishes sitting in the sink. I won't do them for like 3 days. So I just can't be bothered. That's me. That's me in a nutshell. Uh, but
no, I'm just incredibly autistic and just lean very heavily into it.
fair enough. Fair
I lean
enough.
into it, find my strengths, and where I struggle, I lean on my wife or I lean on my peers to help me along.
No, it's fair. That's absolutely fair. Well, I believe that is the main line of questioning over, and we do actually have a couple of live audience questions. If you can't see them in the YouTube chat box, it's because they were posted to the River Valley Radio Discord server. You can find a link to that. If anyone else is listening at home, you can find the link to that. Um, if you search the at that I've left in the description box, at NS Valley Radio, and then you can click on like literally the first link, and it'll take you to the Discord. Be warned as well, you will have to verify your identity. You've got 24 hours to do that when you join, so otherwise you get kicked from the server. But the first question comes from Luis, and here's a question for both of us. What are the main obstacles, in both your opinions, to a better understanding between micronationalists, mainly, and how to settle on a standard of micronationalism rules? Also, hello. Um, hola, Luis. Hola.
Well, I'll let you go first to answer that question. I
Uh,
mean, my approach is very different, so I'm curious to hear yours.
So, in terms of the obstacles, I mean, I feel like you made a good point in that earlier. Is that everyone's just so disjointed and disconnected, and of course there are gaps in understanding, there are gaps in communication. Like there's quite a few people that do micronationalism. It happens. How do you get people to a better and how do you get a better understanding, like how to settle on a rule system? Well, first what you do is you get a lot of micronations in one place, which we've established it's already extremely hard to do, and then ratify some law that every micronationalist, every micronation has to abide to, or they're not micronations. They're considered simulation projects. I think that's the proper way to tackle it. Is that we there's got to be some sort of codex or some sort of like justified law that is applicable to all micronations. Like, you have to do this, you have to be this, you have to do that, and it has to stick, and it has to be spread to every single micronation. And those that don't want to sign it, or those that don't want to follow it, are not considered micronations. They're considered simulation projects, and that's, I mean, it's using a tactic that says, like, you're not justified in how you feel like your micronation is if you don't do this thing. I mean, it's kind of coercion into doing it, but it also works. And in my opinion, that is something that would work. Is you have to introduce something that says, do this XYZ, or you're not one of us. So I think that's the way to do it. It's a very harsh stance. It's an extremely harsh stance, but it's a stance that would work.
Hmm. For me, I guess my approach on it has always been base yourself in reality, and that's really the only rule you can really have, I guess. I mean, I know when we were all younger, we all created different schemes and plans for world domination, or, for those that were involved much younger than like 20, like you were.
Mm,
Uh, we, I think just basing how we approach all of this in reality. I mean, you're not going to build a yacht. Like, let's be honest.
yeah,
16-year-old kid isn't going to build a yacht. However, an 80-year-old, not an 80, but like a 60-year-old man may have the funds to go get a yacht made for his micronation if he wanted. But I think it's even with like, we have conventions that various members of the English speaking community rely on to kind of help build the narrative of what a micronation is, Wraith and Edge Bastion.
mm,
However, both are very complex when it comes to just how to approach it. I mean, some take it as this is how it's written, this is how I have to follow it. Whereas some are going, I follow this, but I don't agree with some. And so I think even just having a set list of rules or things that we are like, okay, this is what a micronation is going to be incredibly divisive. I mean, we have had multiple uh, people come into our community over the last number of who have studied micronationalism as a hobby, as a community, and have written reports, have written theses based around it. And even all of them can't come to like a defined understanding of what it is. So, like, if very educated individual can't come to a defined definition of what micronationalism is, I don't think a community of, to be honest, probably at least 100,000 individual people are going to be able to come to a mutual understanding of these are the rules we have to follow.
Yeah, there's just too many of us, unfortunately. And
Oh,
like yeah,
absolutely.
it would work with a group of 10 people. Like okay, you know, like maybe everyone, 10 individuals can sit around the table and come to a mutual understanding of one thing. But for 100,000 people to sit around the one table and agree on absolutely everything, it's mathematically improbable that that happens, unfortunately. Um, I hope that answers your question, Louis. It was an extremely good question. Um, the
Yeah, it
next
was.
the next question comes from Ethan, uh, who, and I think I might have to correct him here because it looks like he's typed that out wrong. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no bacon?
Uh, that is it's a tricky one for me. I would rather have games. I mean, I'm not a gamer in any sense of the word. I guess I play Minecraft occasionally, and bacon is very delicious.
Yeah,
But I feel like I would get bored of bacon at some point.
yeah, yeah. I know that I definitely will never get bored of bacon, but I know for a fact that um I know for a fact that I will always play games, even if it's like not so much retrospectively is not the word I'm looking for. Like at intervals, so certain times that I'll sit and play games like Stardew Valley. I'd played that a couple of times, and Terraria as well, and it's like, you know, I could no, it was. Okay. Well, apparently I now have to correct myself because it was purposefully written in the way of or unlimited games, but no games, which doesn't make any sense. But okay. Let me rephrase the question then, Otto. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no games, or unlimited games but no bacon? But no games. Unlimited games but no games.
Obviously, the bacon, unlimited bacon at that point. I mean, it's a no brainer. I mean, unlimited games but no games. Like
It's,
what?
I mean,
I mean, that's just the
it's
silliness
it's
of
nonsense.
the Sunland. I guess that's just like
It's just total nonsense. Just total nonsense. It's not meant to make sense. I'm not going to say that word on stream, um, because That's a swear word in Scottish slang. Okay. Well, I don't think we have any other live audience questions. Otto, thanks so much for appearing on the show, and thanks very much for your time on. You've I assume what it's about 10 o'clock in the morning for you at the moment.
no. It's about 12 p.m.
It's
actually.
12. You're 4 hours behind. Wow. Okay. That's going to change very very soon. Anyway, um, yeah. Well, again, thanks very much for coming on and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That's absolutely my pleasure. Well, join us again in a couple of weeks. And someone has joined the group call, which they're not supposed to. You're being bad. But join us again in a couple of Sundays from now. I'm going to have a look at what date that is. That would be the 22nd of March. Um, and we will or we'll be back with another episode of the Balderdash campaign. As always, you can subscribe to this channel. You can also follow the River Valley Radio account on X. You can follow New Strathclyde. Make sure that you follow Misberia here, or you follow Otto. It's just at Misberia. It's added exactly how it's spelled on the image that you see in front of you, and also shout out to Dove Archives as well. So thanks very much, and have a lovely